Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Plus, I'm gonna close this Twitter tab. I got a GIF running in the background. It's a good GIF, but is it good enough to justify slowing down the screen to this extent? This is all a cover so I can turn Cheat Engine on. Make sure I start with blood clot magic mushroom, please. You can't do that. Blood clot shoop-de-whoop, please, as we start another Eden run here. This is, I could not have been more wrong, but it's still amazing. PX11 TZ8M. 1.06 speed, great rate of fire at 8, above average damage, above 0 luck, which is good. Bad HP, but a killer hairdo. It's like the opposite of me. Terrible hairdo, but average HP, probably, if I'm being realistic. I don't know. Anyway, we also have Eden's Soul. Eden's, the stats are already great, don't get me wrong, and the fact that we can fly with Spirit of the Night and, you know, shoot over rocks and etc. is already amazing. But then Eden's Soul, if we save it, I think, until we, oh my lord, I mean, it's good, but surely we want to try to make Eden's Soul pay out instead of Satanic Bible, so let's try something like this. This run is just outrageously good to begin with here, and the items are working well in our favor as well. I think, oh, we lost all the charges on Eden's Soul when we put it down, but either way, I don't think that matters, because we probably want to use it on our first deal with the devil to get 2 free devil deals. And I'm not going to get too aggressive with this right off the bat, but this run definitely has potential. And I don't mean potential to win. I think it's, you know, barring some kind of awful catastrophe. And I don't mean awful catastrophe in the game. I mean, like, you know, a blood clot exploding in my brain or something like that. We're gonna probably win this run because the stats and the items that we've gotten so far are just too good to pass up. Our HP is already amazing. For a character that started with 2 spirit hearts and nothing else, we've like quadrupled that almost. But it has the potential for something even greater than that. I'm talking, you know, top 10% of runs looks like a shoe-in already. Top 5%, I don't know. We gotta start saying one of the best runs ever. Things become a little bit more suspect because of the fact that, you know, we've just played this friggin' game for so long that we can't ever assume that even if a run is amazing, it's gonna be one of the best ever. But surely we can give it a proportional metric. We also have a strength card, which means if we don't get HP here or on our next boss fight, which we'll see, that seems to be the case right now. Great rate of fire increase. Then we can use the strength card to get cheap deals with the devil anyway. So we're really just like absurdly well equipped to make good things happen here. We are, of course, still looking for the missing poster. Or alternatively, because there is a little bit of a backlog on these, and I know you're gonna laugh. A little bit of a it is, by Isaac standards, it's a little bit of a backlog. It's not 2 weeks, it's not 1 week since you looked at me, cocked your head to the side and said, I'm angry. Double strength cards. I'm gonna crack it. Yeah, worth it, but not by much. Just waiting for that episode where I ask for the verbal tweet-based confirmation to percolate out, and then the idea is that hopefully, ooh, easy there, big fella. Once it does, I'll make a call, but hopefully by the time I get notified whether or not you can unlock the Lost the old way, with no uncertain terms, we will have discovered missing poster, which I'm now realizing we've probably hit like 20 or 30 episodes looking for this dang trinket. It never shows up. I personally guarantee, with every fiber of my word, we will find missing poster probably right after we unlock Lost the old-fashioned way. That's my expectation. Well, Mom's razor is not great, but it is, it's probably the familiar that I remember the least. If you ask me to name every, or orbital rather, if you ask me to name every orbital in this game, if I forget 1 or 2, it's probably gonna be Mom's razor. But then again, it's a hard sentence to say, isn't it? Because If there's one that I would forget, how would I even know to bring it up in our present situation and oh no, I've gone cross-eyed? Believe that it causes enemies to take more damage, which means it can be like a useful debuff, but let's be honest, it's fairly unlikely. I think that that'll work out for us. That we're gonna end up like productively running into enemies, but who knows? It also appears to not work on Pin, which puts a damper on that a little bit. No, don't take that yet. Yeah, this is where we start talking. You pop strength for certain. I think we probably want both. I think both of these are pretty good. It doesn't really matter which one you take first. And then you do this, and you get, oh my god, Guppy's head combined with Brimstone, and then add a little Binky on top of that. And this is just kind of exceptional. Like, genuinely one of the best runs as Eden we've had on the new save file. I'm excited. This is great news. It's not like I went into this episode expecting it to be bad, but, you know, when you get a great start as Eden, you don't necessarily expect it to pivot into a, you know, a run that continues to be as strong as it started. But this one has actually gotten stronger. Sometimes you start with good items and then you sort of stall out. This has not been one of those circumstances right off the bat here. Now, are we talking best run ever territory? I'm starting to throw that terminology around in the old brain cavity up there, where the brain used to be. And before I had it replaced with, now that's what I call music volumes, 1 through 30. But yeah, if we become Guppy, and maybe pick up some other all-time bangers, this could be, you know, we're talking like top 2% or something like that, like a once every 2 months sort of run. Speaking of once every 2 months, we should do a daily more than once every 2 months because we are going to need to unlock that for 1,000,001% as well. Still got a couple challenges left as well, but again, I'm trying to focus on the more meditative side of Isaac for the time being. Went through a couple months of progress, unlocking everything, bunch of greed mode garbage. Not garbage, but you know what I mean. Trash. Now I'm having a good time just playing Isaac like the old-fashioned way again. With the... It's like being like independently wealthy, but having a hobby. You know, if Bill Gates retired from his profession of being rich and also philanthropic, and... you know, he's got a new hobby, and his hobby, let's say, is building dollhouses. I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's like, hey, it'd be really nice, it'd be validating if someone would buy these dollhouses off me. Like, if I could start selling these dollhouses on eBay for a couple $100, then, oh, we are going to be able to buy something. Then that would feel good. Does he need the money? No, but would it feel nice? Maybe. That's how I feel about this run right here. We don't need... Nice. We don't need to unlock the lost. Would it be nice? Yeah, but I'm sitting at the dock of the bay, watching the tide rolling away. No, I wouldn't say, because the song ends with wasting time. I wouldn't describe this as wasting time. Time well spent is not time wasted. In my opinion, at least. Wow, it's such a hot take. Isn't that the take people always use when people bring up, or used to bring up, like, you're gonna waste your life playing video games? Excuse me. Time enjoyed is not time wasted. And it's true, you know? I think there's something to be said about that. The only thing I'll say in dissent of that is, you ever go through a phase in your life, maybe you're in one right now, maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. Either way, I'm gonna try to make it relatable. You know, you're at work, you're at school, the whole time you're at work, you're like, I can't wait to get home so I can play League of Legends or something along those lines. Then you start playing it when you get home, and you're just angry. You know, you're upset at the people you're playing with, you're upset at the game. You go, why do I play this stupid game? Go to sleep way too late, don't get enough sleep. Go to work the next day, can't wait to get home so I can play League of Legends. That's where... you know, I think there's the... you might be enjoying it on a certain primal level, and I'm not calling League out specifically for this. I do think MOBAs lend themselves to a little bit of salt. But, that That's where I think, you know, you gotta take a step back and evaluate your priorities. Maybe you're just compelled to play the game. You know, I think games do have... Basically what I'm trying to say is I hate video games. I don't like them. Originally, I wanted to be a chartered accountant. And I talked to my parents, and they said, don't be a chartered accountant. Play video games. For money. The career prospects are great. No, I'm obviously being facetious, but, you know, I think games do have, addictive properties. I think games are kind of, like, innately addictive if they're made well. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Addiction, you know, is, it's synonymous with badness because a lot of the time, you know, when we hear about addictions, we hear about the bad ones. You know, we hear about, you know, drug addiction, alcohol addiction. Even, I guess we hear a decent amount about video game addiction. But anyway, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing in all circumstances. But, you know, everything in life in moderation, to some extent, including moderation. Per throw that, we're so close to the Guppy dream. I should have per throwed this. Yeah, that's fine though. We have not been to our item room yet, so let's knock that out. And I think, you know, we as gamers, and I know that the capital G gamers is sometimes kind of it's a group that people don't necessarily like when they get over a certain age to identify with necessarily. Okay, this is weird, and I think I've ruined it, but I'm okay with that. But, you know, it is what we are. You know, if you're a food snob, you're a foodie. If you like movies, you're a cinephile. We're gamers, it's true. We could do better about acknowledging the potentially damaging parts of our industry. I think there are addictive properties to games. Now, sometimes it's great. It's like a game being addictive, we consider a good thing. Unless it's addictive and it's not fun and it's like, it feels like it's destroying your life, I suppose. Anyway. I don't know where I was going with that. Wait, did we get 2 runes? Or were we holding? We might have been holding 2 per throws there, actually. We picked up Polydactyly very recently, so... It's a cool synergy that we've got going on here. Something about this floor layout I very much dislike. It's just the way it looks is a little messy to me. You know what? That's probably a per throw followed by a black rune if necessary. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's a modest damage increase. I think I want to use some bombs. If we don't have restock, we can't really will something like... Ooh, 2 of spades. I mean, that's... Now we got more keys than we'll ever need, but we can't really will a mom's box of trinkets into existence without restock. But if we get restock and we keep Lucky Rock, there is a chance that we can make something like that come true. So... I'm also very happy to have another black rune, which I think is one of the more useful runes in the game. That was not even a tears down because of the fact that we already had the minimum tears, or maybe your tears are just static when you have this bomb shot. Anyway, I understand why we, you know, as gamers, we're primed to kind of take any... Hear me out here. I am going to take this. It gets us a little closer to Bookworm. It also allows us... Got a luck upgrade as a result. We'll get another luck upgrade here. Puts us closer to being able to use the strength card in the future, etc., etc. But, you know, when I grew up, it was always like, you know, hey, Jack Thompson says if you play Grand Theft Auto, you should be in jail. And you go, my friend, Jack Thompson, you're a moron. That is an idiotic thing to say. You're ignorant to the things you're talking about. Or you got Roger Ebert. He's going, you know, games can't be art. And you go, Roger Ebert, I respect you on the level of film criticism. Probably the most influential film critic of all time. But my dude, you're like 68 years old. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm not trying to, you know, besmirch the name of the dead here. I'm just saying, you know, I understand why whenever there might be an article that's like, are violent video games bad for 2-year-olds? The initial reaction, it's very convenient to have, is no, and that's stupid. But, like, maybe the article is worth reading. That's all I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying maybe the article's worth reading. I think we have this attitude, and you can feel free to disagree with me. I think we have an attitude. Oh, no, I do not want to do a Windows update right now, please. I think we have an attitude that is like, nobody criticizes this industry but me. Within the industry, we're like, I hate Ubisoft. I hate EA. But then if a clinical psychologist from the University of South Florida said blah, blah, blah about video games, we go, no, you don't get to say it. We say it. I will definitely take 2 speed upgrades. Dude, I'm getting so... I've become more of a computer guy. There are smarter computer guys than me. We're gonna keep on drowsy. Without a doubt, there's smarter computer guys and girls than me. I don't mean to suggest that it's a gender exclusive sort of thing. Political correctness gone mad, am I right? Trying to make sure his whole audience feels comfortable. Anyway, what a jerk! I understand the value of a Windows update, but, and I don't say this lightly, anyone out there work at Microsoft? Could you tell your higher-ups to frig off with the super aggressive Windows update asks? Or, alternatively, here's another one, just forcing it on you. You know, I had Champions of Fire like 2 weeks ago. We're gonna teleport out, use the Hermit, we'll be fine here. I had Champions of Fire like 2 weekends ago. But I'm also in school simultaneously, and the Angular class that I was taking was real hard. You know what? Let's do a negative run, if I can remember to do a negative run. It's my mea culpa for you guys, for doing kind of just like casual runs here. Please, small rock? No small rock. So these are trash. I ended up, and it took a lot for me to do this, it might surprise you, but I ended up emailing my professor and being like, hey, would it be possible that I could get an extension? Like, I know that it strikes, it's pretty unscholastically good of me to do so. There's probably a better word for it than that. But, like, I really don't think I'm going to be able to get this assignment done in time. I think it's, I let him know, like, you know, 6 or 7 days in advance of the due date, so he didn't think it was just like I started it the night before, I didn't have time. But I think if I get the assignment done, I could probably do it, but it's going to be a rush job, and like, I don't want to have an unfair advantage over any of my classmates, but it would be cool if I could get an extension for a day or two. We're still gonna do that. The Demon Judgment there. Just got a little tired of getting baited. And he said, yeah, that's fine. You know, he's giving extensions to other people, so he'll give an extension to me as well. And I said, thank you. By the way, here's a link if you ever want to watch this. And he said, I don't have the time, but maybe I'll watch it later. And I said, no, it's not like that. I'm not trying, you're not my dad. I'm not trying to show you that I'm proud of what I've done. I just want you to know that it's not an illegitimate excuse. Like, I was filming something for Amazon in New York City. That would be a very audacious thing to lie about, but I thought I would just provide you with evidence just in case you were curious. Wow, Egghead protected us that time. This is getting a little ridiculous here. Anyway, what does this have to do with Windows updates? I had been working, you know, maybe an hour, 2 hours a night on this project. And it was the night that it was due. So it was due at like 11:59 p.m. I actually am going to have to stop here. Alright, well, you win. It was due at 11:59 p.m. You know, I finished the NLSS, cooked dinner, did Kate's stream, and then I was like, 11. All I had to do, I had to put comments in the code for the things that I had not done yet, which was probably going to take like 10 minutes, and then submit it. I turn on my computer, it goes, hey, welcome back. We're just in the middle of doing a Windows update. By the way, it could take like 15-20 minutes. Don't turn your computer off or it'll break forever. You gotta frig off with that S. I'm not trying to use strong language here. You could have cost me big time. It would have reflected very badly on me to have missed the deadline that I got with an extension. It would have looked... It would have been embarrassing. It could have compromised, I don't know, like my ability to have any trust with that professor. It's a negative thing. You might be saying, why didn't you do it earlier? I'm the same dude in all these videos. I'm telling you not to procrastinate. I was given, like, my free time for a week to this assignment. It just so happened that, you know, I had budgeted the last hour to kind of polish it up and submit it, and Windows decided, hey, you've been taking way too many, liberties here, my friend. with pushing these updates ahead in the future. We're gonna do it right now, whether you want to or not. I understand they have to be done for security purposes, but I still want to be the one that pushes the button. That's all I'm saying. You know, I can't even be mad. And I'm being real with you. I can't even be mad. You have become the greatest trickster of all time. Loki. Why do this? I really just wanted the extra spirit hearts at this point. The game, I'm not going to say it forced my hand necessarily, but it put me in a what I consider to be kind of a tough situation here. We definitely want I'm Drowsy. I don't think we care about High Priestess or Hobbit, really. Donate as much money as you can. We're still, like, super early on in this run. Yep. I don't know, the donation machine, I don't think it's been changed, but we've had some real bad luck with it lately. I feel like everybody has a Windows Update story like that, or at least everybody knows somebody who has a Windows Update story like that. It used to be you could put the updates off for, you know, 2 years. And I'm not saying that those were the golden days. I'm just saying, you know, that's how you end up with stuff like, what was that worm that infected, like, 80% of Windows ME computers in 2003 or something? But anyway, that's how you end up with stuff like that, is people that are like, it works fine, why would I update it? Which is the kind of person that I am, embarrassingly enough, most of the time. But I understand the value of Windows updates. But you gotta give me the heads up. Sometimes, you know, I desperately need to be able to use my computer in a very time-specific frame. By the way, you know what? I spent way too long defending myself from the comments of, you know, why didn't you just do it earlier? I always get things done early. And beyond that, what kind of victim-blaming mentality is that? If you wanted to use your computer, you should have done it earlier. I still got it submitted before the due date. My scholastic record speaks for itself. Conducted myself in that realm with integrity and discipline. You're taking the side of a dang algorithm, man. And in today's modern YouTube landscape, we humans have got to band together and say no to the algorithm. We say, hold on there, big fella. This video, I said friggin'. No demonetization, please. Anyway, basically, update your computer when it tells you to, if you have the time, so you don't end up in my situation. That's the real... It wasn't that I should have done the assignment earlier, it's that I should have done the update earlier. But it's hard to get through that. It's hard to... It seems obscured. I hate these enemies. I really want to become Guppy. I mean, for... oh my lord, I don't even know. I think I'll just try it and then see. Because, like, technically, we should be breaking poops pretty easily. Yeah, it's working. Although our run is already great, I would really like to get to the point where we kill things faster, and I think the easiest way for that to happen is to just have Guppy make it so that we're generating flies whenever we hit an enemy with our brimstone laser, which means we don't have to hit every enemy with our brimstone laser to do damage, which would really, you know, make the process more efficient here. Our existing flies are already doing a great job, but to be able to generate more wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. That's my 2 cents. And apart from that, I mean, I got a post-it note written on my monitor. It says, Windows Update bit, it's gold, Jerry. And then below that it says, insult your core audience. And then beyond that, I didn't have any topics for conversation in this video. I got nothing. I'm kinda, I wouldn't say like, I'm sick, but you can probably tell from my voice I'm like a little off today for some reason. I don't know. I woke up and the weather here is like frightful. But no, it's like just really nasty. It's like very humid. It's 1:30 p.m. right now, but it looks like it's 7:30. Like it's almost dark outside. I went outside to get a coffee and it's like not raining. It's the kind of weather where, like, the rain is just gaseous. And I know that that's, you know, vapor, but, it's, or humidity even, but, like, it's just like a cold wetness is just hanging out in the air. So I think I got, like, a weird sort of, like, I'm kind of congested as a result of that, and, like, I got a weird sort of, not headache, but, like, a head pressure as a result of that. I don't feel bad, but I just feel like not 100%. It is, like, cold and flu season as well. You never know, right? Like, we'll see how it goes, but I'm taking care of myself. You got nothing to worry about. I'm drinking 1 beer a night in the snow case. That's gotta be good for you. 1 beer per night ad infinitum. I'm not gonna play this guy because his brother ruined it for everybody. I probably should not do this, but I really do want to, against what you might think of me, I want to get the missing poster stuff done. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to come down here and maybe we can buy Mom's box of trinkets. But we also have the I'm Drowsy pill, which should make this fight much easier. Evil Eye is just okay, but it's better than D7. And then Nod Leaf, I mean, spilled milk is bad, so Nod Leaf is preferable, but still not great. Surely, we want that. We're not doing anything else with our money, so we probably want this. We might even want to spend, like, all of our available money using magic fingers before we leave. And I don't think there's a secret room on this floor, so we don't need to take advantage of that. So I would pop... I don't think it works like this, but I think we should pop I'm Drowsy after the Hush spawns, like the real Hush. Because it might only affect him. I really, really don't think that's how it works, but... I don't think that's working the way I want it to work. It's not that I want to save the money, because again, unless we get money equals power, we're not doing anything with it. And it's not like money equals power would be bad if we picked it up with no money. It's just not actively helping. Anyway, we'll fight the Hush. It appears we'll go one more episode, having a fun time, but not necessarily making progress. It's like taking a course in the C programming language, which I am doing next semester. Unlikely, I think, to be a particularly employable skill, unless they invented a time machine and I can go work in the 1970s, but for interest's sake, hopefully there's a little entertainment value involved there. DAE programming, he's talking about his interests. Why don't you learn to program your oxygen not included? Okay, that's not fair to you guys for me to put on that voice and deflect any criticism. A better person would take the criticism to heart, filter out the negative stuff, and come back stronger. I'm falling victim to weakness, to human weakness and ego right now, and I apologize for that. But can you blame me? The run's hooking me up with all this power, and as a result, I haven't had to grow a spine. Not on this run, at least. Okay, we'll go to Shoal. He almost forgot. So we'll secret room here. Luck. We already have 5 luck. It's not like I'm trying to be greedy with luck, but ooh, these guys, we can just walk them in if we have to. It's not like I'm trying to be greedy with luck. It's more like we might as well, like if we can get extra... Oh, let's go. If we can get extra chests, I would love to. This is huge, though. Like, now our damage is much, much better. It doesn't solve our primary problem, which is definitely still just hitting enemies, but that's what we need. Oh my god, I didn't even realize. It makes perfect sense now, but good lord, homing tiers are actually exceptional with this. I am loving this occasional Fates reward shot as well. This is like one of the very few times in my life I've looked at Fate's Reward and been like, you got it going on here. You're like as useful as the original. Even better than the real thing? No, let's not go crazy. Another magician card, very useful. Guppy. Guppy. No gups. But gimps. Probably still pretty good. With 5 luck especially. Yeah, this, I think it has stopped short at the present moment of hitting the level of like best run in a quarter. You know, best run over the span of 3 months. -2. I think I'll stick with Lucky Rock, honestly. At that point. But it's close. If we get homing tiers, especially if we could somehow eke out like Sacred Heart, then I would be like, this is some best of all time sort of stuff right here. Right now, it's just very, 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 one more very, very good. Like, the stomping is out of control. Now we'll pop Magician on this room because these guys can be a little annoying. What do you think? 1 or 2 shots for this phase of Satan? With like half of 1 shot. I'll round up though. Wonderful. We got a pretty good chance to become Guppy. I still don't think, like, Guppy by itself, I don't think gives us best of all time status. But if we can get Guppy homing somehow. I mean, let's play it a little slow here. We still don't even have Guppy to begin with. We did just get Whore of Babylon. It's a nice bonus. We don't need 2 Devil Rooms, but thank you nonetheless. Well, this room raised a good thought experiment. Do we really need homing tiers if every shot lands anyway? If we could just get that on our roll, that's even better. Dude, with 6 luck, I don't know if this actually affects Tough Love with our Hemolacrimia. that's that can't be the real name. Hemolacrimia. Come on, brain. It's something like that. You know what I mean. You gotta cut me some slack here. It's many of these items have not existed for very long. Oh, dude, this is like... So I was gonna lampshade it, but we were starting to get a little low on HP, even though I thought we had a very low chance of death. But to get 2 judgments, it's probably a little extra HP in the can. It's not like we have permanent Polaroid invincibility, so... And I'm drowsy is beautiful. I'm gonna take my reflection. It's gonna make the run substantially worse, because our shots are gonna stay in the air forever. Shouldn't have taken it, but you know what? Even in my head, I was kind of like, we shouldn't have taken it. But who dares wins. The shots really do last forever. But when they land, they have that same kind of bend that a normal brimstone laser has. With, Wait, what did I gave up Guppy's head, didn't I? We need that for sure. We need the guaranteed damage. Is the same kind of bend that a brimstone shot has with my reflection, which looks really cool. So I'm kind of all for it. Oh, and we can also flood the area with shots. I'm putting down like 1 shot and watching it go. Not a good idea. But our flies will also tackle like any problem for us, so I think we're fine here. 1 red heart might as well be 0. I would like to get more. It's at the base level, it's still 1 more HP. However, it's not like we can actually replenish it, because if we get hit once, we'll die, unless we get the wafer or something. So I think that my reflection setup is bad on normal rooms, and probably is going to be cool against bosses. Not necessarily objectively good, but I think once we start landing shots on a boss, like, he's going to eat it real quick. But our flies are doing a great job of insulating us from the real peril of that mistake. So I'm beyond thankful for that. Just try not to take any damage, because you do need to survive for a bit to make the dream happen here. That's cool. There's only like a 1 second delay. It's almost like you pay up front, and then, you know, you reap the rewards on the back end. So, pop the Empress, start firing shots here. The lamb might die before shots start to land here, but I don't think that's the case. Oh, pop, I'm drowsy too. Once shots start to fall, it should be like 1 second in between shots. And that is just, look at that. That was so much fun. We're not going to do this again. We do need to do the victory lap run, but this one, we kind of squandered it at the end. I'm content to let it go. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.